the ticket.
Yeah, obviously we talked about this. It's sad, non-football weekend coming up. But next week, obviously, there's a pretty big game, Super Bowl 57. You can hear that right here on KTIK Sports Radio, the ticket. So, Prater, when you forget a couple of items on your Super Bowl buffet, when you're driving to the store to pick them up, you can tune right to us and catch your pregame.
I love it. Or you just sit in your car and avoid your family and listen to the game on the radio by yourself.
You sound like you've done that a time or two, man.
If the Steelers were playing, I'll ditch the family and listen to the game on the radio. Absolutely.
Man, I love it. Welcome back, Idaho Sports Talk. This is a weird occasion. We have Jason Eck in studio, Idaho Vandal head football coach for the big Vandal Scholarship Fund Gala tonight. But Prater, I almost didn't recognize him. This is the first time I have ever seen Coach Eck without a visor on. He's not doing it. There's no visor here, Prater. How are we going to do this interview?
Well, usually it's right before practice, man. Usually it's right before practice. I'm heading out. So changed up. The real reason I'm down here is I want to get some of Prater's weight loss tips, too, because the off season's coming up. I might need to follow his lead.
Isn't
and take
it
a few
crazy,
pounds
Coach?
off. It looks good. So
what are you at now, Forrest?
I'm still stuck on 70 down. I haven't gained up anything back yet. So
that's
70 pounds.
So the
Coach.
Gala was just covered to come down here and get his weight loss.
Man. Great stuff. So, you're in town for the Vandal Scholarship Gala, and it's going to be fun tonight. Going to get to see you and meet the whole family. Fun times. And I heard it was sold out. It's going to be a record crowd tonight, but it's a good time to be a Vandal. Thanks, man.
It's a good time to be a Vandal, and great year for us recruiting. In the state of Idaho, we've got 12 new Vandals coming. A lot of them from down here in the Treasure Valley. So I think our whole MO this offseason is we got to keep the momentum going. We can't have that dip from you look at some of the good years they've had in the past. 2009 bowl season. Next year it's a losing record. 2016 bowl season. Next year goes downward. We got to keep building, keep getting better up there in Moscow.
All right. Appreciate everybody watching this on our video channels, too. If you want to see how pretty we all are, you can just hook it up with our YouTube channel and our social media followings, too. Prater, here's the thing, Coach. Prater got an invitation to the VSF Gala. They thought it'd be cool. I'm hosting, bring my radio partner. Maybe we could have some fun. And Prater, I think he politely declined because he said he didn't want to pay any money to hear me talk. He couldn't handle it.
Well, go ahead and answer that because then I'll give you the real context.
I would say right now he gets paid to have to listen to you talk. So after you get paid to listen to you talk, I don't know how he would want to pay to listen to you talk.
First of all, I've been to like 5 or 6 of these, way more than you two knuckleheads combined. Because back in the day, this was a regular rotation thing for me, and I actually love these events. When I was covering the Vandals back in the day, and I promise you both, as you know well, you're going to have a very, very good time tonight. You're going to raise a lot of money, meet a lot of really cool people, hang out with a lot of really cool people, and have a pretty good time. Now, I did say, I don't want to just pay just to come watch you speak because I have to pay. I have to sit in a cubicle with him for 40 hours a week.
Mm-hmm.
Coach, that's not easy.
Yes.
40 hours a week in a cubicle with Johnny Ballgame is not easy. I have to go to therapy sometimes. I did say this, though.
He's not wrong, Coach.
And Mahmoud was he'll be able to back me up on this one. I only have like 4 dream guests on this show, and one of them is Mark Schlereth. And I told Ballgame, and I haven't been able to get Mark to come on this show. He may have done us once a long time ago for some kind of Vandal thing, but it was a long time ago, and it didn't really count. I really want, because I love the way he conducts his business in public. I love what he's done in the past. And I said, you get Mark Schlereth on the show today or sometime this week, and I will buy 2 seats, and I will spend money at the auction. And I know that's not cheap. These things are going to cost you some pennies.
Mm-hmm.
Ballgame didn't come through.
Couldn't yet. I think it's just too damn Boise State for him to come on this show. But we need to convince him otherwise. Maybe we can get you to help one of these days.
Next
Coach.
time I talk to him, I'll put in a good word.
Just say, hey, these are cool guys, and they're they just want to talk. They're not going to throw any blue turf stuff in your face. And
he hates the blue turf. He hates the word Boise, and I get it. I love it and respect it, but. Anyway, that's the story. You could have raised another $1,000, but blame Ballgame for screwing that one up.
I couldn't get Schlereth.
Close the deal there, Ballgame.
We were talking all week. We're going to continue to do this. Kellen Moore, the new OC of the LA Chargers, he mutually parts ways or whatever with the Cowboys on Sunday. He has a job less than 20 hours later. I mean, you know what that's like in the coaching business, I'm sure, like when you get fired or you lose a job and to have an opportunity that quick probably say how sought after you might be. What makes a good OC? You've been an OC, highly successful. Now you're a coach, and you want to find the best possible OC. Your boy Schleich did a tremendous job last year.
I think you got to be smart to be a good coordinator, because you got to be smart, because you got to do a great job of taking a lot of information and bringing it together to come up with a product. So you have to, one, be a great evaluator of your own talent. So you're really seeing who do we have and how can we use them. You got to have some innovativeness where you're constantly, cycling. You want to keep your identity, but there's got to be about 20% every year where you're trimming it off, cutting some fat and adding some stuff new. Because if you stay stagnant, just run all the same stuff 2 years in a row,
you can't do that.
People catch up to you. And you got to be very poised. I think that's, probably one of the challenges from going from being an O-line coach where, a lot of times O-line coach, your guy makes a mistake, you're getting on him, sometimes you're frustrated. You got to be very poised. You got to always, you have a -4 yard play. You don't have time to, get upset about that play not working. All right, 2nd and 14. What do we got? What's our best play for this situation? So, and I think Kellen Moore is a great example of someone who exemplifies all those areas.
Coach, let's ask a serious football question here. You're in town tonight for the Vandal Scholarship Fund Gala. If you're going, the details. If you don't, you're going to miss out on one heck of a party tonight. But let's talk about your football team. You've signed, I don't know, I lost track. I think you've put 40 new faces on this roster. Tell us how you've changed the roster. Where has this roster gotten better since the football season ended for you guys?
Well, you can really see an emphasis on the offensive line and defensive line. And I think that, when you watch our tape from last year and see where we're at, as a playoff team, probably one of the top 20 teams in the country, to you watch the national championship game, South Dakota State versus North Dakota State this year, where we got to get better is that line of scrimmage. Offensive line, defensive line, tight ends are a big part of that as well. So that's really where we're trying to bring in. And it's a mix. We added 2 transfer O linemen, 2 transfer D linemen, but also a lot of young guys that we're going to develop and bring through the ranks.
What about the state of Idaho? And you may have had this one-time blip, rare opportunity. I know Boise State signed 7 walk-on guys this week. Idaho State didn't do much. I mean, they usually sign 10, 15, 20 guys. And with the coaching change, they didn't do much. Was there more Idaho talent out there for you guys this year? And how did you tap into it? And who'd you end up from Idaho that you liked that can make a difference for you guys?
I thought it was a tremendous year, for talent in Idaho this year, a really good class. And we were able to, to sign 12 guys,
okay,
9 scholarship guys and 3 walk-ons from Idaho, which I think is an exceptional year. I think there's always going to be guys that we're going to sign in Idaho a bunch. I don't know if there'll always be 12 that we can sign in the class. And, down here, I think some of the guys that stood out, Rocky Mountain had a very talented team. We took 2 guys from there, Zach Penner, who's an offensive lineman who I think has a lot of upside to him. Art Williams is a running back, also played some outside linebacker for him, so I think has some position flexibility. Keegan Henson is a big kid from Mountain View out in Meridian, who I think we can keep developing as a O-lineman who, may take a couple of years to develop, but I think is going to have a huge upside to him. Ethan Beard's another guy like that, really thin and rangy. Played this year at about 180 pounds, but he's 6'3" and really long. Played more safety for him, but we see him as growing into his body and moving down to play linebacker. And then Lincoln Gee is a small school guy, and those small school guys' camps are so important. So we saw him at a camp out in Nampa last summer. He came up to our camp in Moscow. And that's a big push for our kids in this area, is getting them up to see our campus and come to our camp. I think 76% of our scholarship high school kids in this class came to one of our camps in Moscow last year.
That's
so
big
getting them to campus.
Jason Eck, Idaho Vandal head football coach, with us right now. What have you noticed? Just, I'll be honest, I'll be honking a horn at somebody on I-84 that has a Vandal sticker, and I'll give them, hey, fees up, dude. I'm all over town doing that, and just kind of, what have you noticed as far as just kind of felt like this whole fan base needed just to be loved up, and I think they were. What have you seen on the back end of that compared to maybe where this thing was when you took the gig about a year ago from today?
Yeah, I think we got a real loyal fan base, and a fan base that's had a lot of pride, even though they haven't had a lot of stuff to really be excited about and rally around over the last 20 years. And I think they're enthused right now. I think they're energized, and we got to keep that momentum going. And I think this next season, that's the message to the players. The 2022 season, it was a great start. It was positive, but that season's done. Nothing that we did last year means anything going into this year. It's all about how we build this team in this offseason and improve. And but the excitement we're getting, whether you're, today, checking in at the hotel, the guy behind the desk was, hey, I'm
I'm a fan.
Idaho, I love it, coach. You're the coach, right? And
Yeah.
that's fun to see people excited about University of Idaho and Vandal football.
We haven't asked expectation questions about Idaho football for a long time, and I know there's a million things that have to be done between now and next November, but are the expectations literally just playoffs or bust for this program? Is that the next step?
I think so. We bought out of a Division II game we had, and that was something I pushed our administration to do. I said, you really, to go into the NCAA playoffs, they don't count your Division II wins.
Okay.
So we had a Division II game on the schedule, and we had to pay a buyout to get out of that and find a Division I game, and we ended up having to go on the road, or we got to charter an airplane to go down to Texas. So it was a costly change, but I thought it was something we needed to, just to make sure we're getting the Division I wins you need, because being in the Big Sky, I think one of the best, probably one of the best two conferences, certainly in FCS football. If you have 7 Division I wins, you're going to be a playoff team. And obviously, we got to aspire to more than that, because to get a first round bye, which I think is really important to go far in the FCS playoffs, you probably got to have about 9 Division I wins. So, no, our expectations are obviously moving up this year, and I feel like we can and we should be a playoff team next year.
I'm just going to say it right now. You can strangle me if you want, Coach. But I like your chances in Reno. I think you guys are going to kick the crap out of Nevada next year. And I would think Boise State fans, Prater, might actually root for the Vandals in that game because they play in Reno. Is that a stretch, Michael? Boise State fan, tell us on the text line. Will you be rooting for Idaho to win at Mackey Stadium September 9th in Reno? Coach, I want that game.
Oh, that's a big game for us. All of them are big. Last year we were 1-2 in non-conference. So you look at, you want to improve your overall record. We probably got to find a way to get 2 wins on the non-conference docket, and they'll be much better. That was their head coach's first year down there, Coach Wilson. So I'm sure they've been improved. And you guys know the times they've had when they really got the pistol offense running back, when they've had Kaepernick. They've had some good years there. So
yeah,
it'll be a tough game, but we'll be ready to go. We'll be ready to go, and we got to get that first one. And the one thing I liked about our first game is that it's a Thursday night opener, and that's kind of sneaky helpful, because where that helps you is you come to camp a few days earlier, and now you got a few more days to get ready for the second one, which I like. I like playing that opener on a Thursday night because of that.
God, you're a smart guy, Prater.
Well, other than the fact that he hired you for tonight's Vandal Scholarship Fund Gala. First of all, Coach, have you figured out how uncoachable that this guy can be? He's going to bring the thunder. He's going to bring the enthusiasm. He's going to bring the good time. He's going to check 9 out of 10 boxes. But, the coaching.
What's the box I won't check, please?
It's going to be the hardest coaching job you've ever done. And
I'll tell you off air sometime about sometimes I found him uncoachable.
And just the cleanup afterwards is going to be, you're going to have a hangover for a week after this one, and you may not even drink.
I love it. He'll bring the juice and he'll bring the energy. He knows, he knows how to play to a crowd. And I think this will be a one-sided crowd tonight. You're going to have a great, Vandal bias in the crowd. He'll play into that nicely, and I think control the room very well.
I can't wait, Coach. We're going to talk a little bit about music throughout this show today, because kind of the Grammy nominations are out. None of us know who any of the artists are other than like Taylor Swift. We're old school with music. Are you the same way? And Prater, I think, had a stat earlier in our production meeting that, what is it, Prater? By the time you reach age 30, what was that stat you said?
You're 98% of your musical library is done. You're not changing any. You're not adding any new music, changing any music. Your musical tastes are entrenched.
And I think that's spot on. I'm the same way. Where are you? Are you a big music guy?
Well, the one thing I have, I'm around these college kids all the time.
Yeah.
So that I would say my percentage is going to be a little bit lower, because I like I like it to have a fun, energetic atmosphere. So you come to our practice, we're gonna have a lot of music.
I've heard it. I've seen it.
We don't, sometimes during a special teams period, there's a lot of teaching. We may turn it off, but when we're stretching, when we're going to our team periods, we're gonna have music blasting, and we let the kids handle most of the playlist and put songs in. And so once in a while, I hear something kind of catchy. I don't know who it is. I ask the guys, "Hey, who's this? I need to put this in my Spotify or whatever." So I might be more like 75% of my musical taste before 30, and I'm. You got to evolve, just like your offense has to evolve to be an offensive coordinator. Your musical taste.
Do you have a favorite group or band all time type of thing? Or
you know what? I probably don't have one, that I like. I got kind of eclectic taste. I like some old stuff like the Rolling Stones. I'll play a little Don't Stop Believing by Journey on the jukebox.
Okay.
Occasionally, I do like some of the old hip hop from the 90s and
Me
stuff.
too.
When I was in college, listen to the Roots.
Oh, hell yeah.
Something like that. So it's an eclectical taste. My wife likes country music a lot, so we'll have a little Jason Aldean or some Luke Bryan on. So it's definitely a hodgepodge.
All right, Coach. Well, we appreciate you swinging by the studio, getting ready for the big event tonight. All the best as always, and appreciate you hanging out, and thanks for coming on.
Hey, great to see you guys like always. Appreciate it, ball game. Appreciate it, Prater.
No, he's up.
Good luck tonight.
He's up, baby. He's up.
Jason Eck right here in studio. JP has the news coming up, and Bob Beeler right around the corner. Going to give a preview on San Diego State. Matter of fact, how about Leon Rice next, talking about tonight's opponents. Prater in the ball game. It's Idaho Sports Talk. It's KTIK Sports Radio, The Ticket.
This is Idaho Sports Talk with